Hey, what's up? In this video, I have an invitation for you. How's it going, guys? My name is Rick Bergman. I'm a financial coach and I'm the owner and founder of the Debt-Free Mafia. One of the #1 questions I get is, hey, what is the Debt-Free Mafia exactly? Well, in this video, I wanted to explain that. Not only that, I wanted to send you an invitation to be a part of the Debt-Free Mafia and why I think you should join the movement. But first, before I get to that, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about myself. I'm actually gonna be doing a whole video going into my story in detail. Well, I say my story, but it's my wife and I's story together. We did this whole thing together, but I started this company because of everything that happened to us beforehand. So my wife and I got married in school, and not too long after, when we were getting ready to graduate, she was offered a position in Midland, Texas. So right after I graduated, we packed up everything and moved to Midland, Texas. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life, so I ended up getting a corporate job working for General Electric, and about 8 months into it, I realized this is not for me. It turns out the entrepreneurial bug bit me and I knew that I needed to be doing my own thing. So at that time, we had sold the house that we had bought and we were gonna put all of our chips into a franchise that we'd purchased up in Denver, Colorado. Everything I thought was going great. I went to the SBDC, I made a whole plan. I looked at the numbers 800 times. I wanted to make sure that no matter what, this is gonna be profitable and it's a wise decision. However, along the way, I made some very unwise choices that I learned were unwise later on. And as I said before, I'm gonna go into more detail on this on another video, so stick around if you want that full story. However, after making lots of bad decisions, borrowing money from family, signing a lease agreement that was just terrible, and living in an area that was beyond what we could afford, we found ourselves at 23 years old, we found ourselves at 1.2 million, yes, million in debt. That was a really tough time. At that time, I had lost 15 pounds body weight. I looked pale. I was sick. I felt like a literal weight on my chest. I always heard the expression, but I didn't understand it. Not only that, I felt like I was just absolutely chained down. Felt like I couldn't go anywhere, do anything because we owed all of this money. Now, granted, most of this money was tied up in this commercial lease that we had purchased. It's like a strip mall. We rented the space for the strip mall. It was a 10-year deal, so you can imagine renting that for 10 years. I promised that I would pay a ton of money, which is most of where our debt came from. Well, in order to move on past all that stuff, we had two options after it all was said and done. It was either one, go to jail, or two, declare bankruptcy. Well, I think you know which one we decided to choose. Right after this was going on, after we had been sued, after we'd had to work through bankruptcy, we decided that we were gonna move back to Midland. So we were still kind of working on all this stuff, but one thing happened during all that changed everything for us. We decided we are never, ever, ever going to be trapped by debt. We are never going to feel the bondage that debt creates ever again. So we got busy. For 2 years straight, we just busted it. We threw all the extra money that we could possibly find at this debt. I mean, I'm telling you everything. I remember there was countless nights where we were praying to God, God, would you please provide ways that we could pay this debt off faster? Side note, God's faithful, because shortly after we started this prayer routine, there was a major hailstorm that came through and just absolutely demolished my truck. Totaled it, actually. So I ended up getting a sweet check from the insurance company that I spent zero of it on my truck, and we threw it all at debt. Now my truck kind of looks like a golf ball, but hey, that's okay. It sped up our process of debt payment that much faster, and we were okay with it. So after a little over 2 years, we ended up paying off $65,000 total in debt. Like I said before, most of that $1 million debt was all that commercial lease that we had to get rid of. We were still left with all of our other debt. None of our other debt got forgiven by that, so there was no scapegoat for us. We had to pay off student loans and family loans. Not only that, after we got out of debt, we went and had a steak dinner and enjoyed ourselves and celebrated. And then the next day, we got right back into being intense with our money. We saved up a 6-month emergency fund because we wanted to have a safety net. We had this safety net because we never wanted to go into debt again. And then on top of that, we kept that intensity up and we saved up a down payment on a home. And just this July 2020, we ended up purchasing a home again. We're finally able to be into a place of our own and not rent for a change. Wow, was it a sigh of relief. I'm light on my feet today. You might not be. But believe me, I completely relate, completely sympathize and empathize with where you're at. You might not be sleeping at night. I didn't do a lot of sleeping when I was in debt. You might not have much of an appetite. You might be fighting with your spouse. You might be struggling just to make rent or your mortgage every month. Heck, you might even be struggling just to make sure there's enough food. Believe me, I can completely relate. But let me assure you this, you do not have to live that way. You don't. I'm hoping today is the day that you decide to change all of that. Today's the day that I'm gonna invite you to be a part of the Debt-Free Mafia. And no, you don't have to be debt-free to be a part of the Debt-Free Mafia. The Debt-Free Mafia is a movement. We are going to be living debt-free. We are not going to be controlled by our money. We're gonna tell our money where to go and work for us rather than against us. As a part of the Debt-Free Mafia, especially here on this channel or on any of our socials, we're gonna be providing content catered towards people who are wanting to live debt-free, who are wanting to live freedom, who are wanting to be able to pursue the things that they want to pursue and not feel chained down by their monthly payments. On this channel, you're going to be able to find informative videos that are going to have some testimonies, lots of different tips and tricks when it comes to mindsets. You're also going to find accountability. Being a part of this group and being a part of the Debt-Free Mafia is something that's going to constantly be reminding you and keeping you in your forefront that it's a good idea to be a good steward of your money and to not get stuck into old money habits. So with that invitation to the Debt-Free Mafia, I want to challenge you. Today I want you to do one thing. I want you to take one step towards financial freedom. Maybe you don't have debt. Maybe you're just trying to build wealth. That's great. Maybe you need to pick up the phone and finally get a hold of your financial advisor so that you can start setting up a retirement plan. Maybe that's you. Maybe you feel like you're in crushing debt right now. Well, I invite you, no matter what walk of life or what part of your financial journey you're on, I invite you to be a part of the Debt-Free Mafia. That could be your challenge today. Maybe subscribing to our channel or following us on social media could be your first step towards financial freedom or wealth building. So my next challenge is this. I want you to share this with somebody who either A, you want them to keep you accountable, that you're gonna use this as motivation to financially start winning with money, or B, somebody who you think could use some support or some good advice or some encouragement, because you're gonna get all of those here. Now, believe me, I'm your #1 fan and I am completely rooting for you in whatever stage you're in. I really would like for you to leave a comment or DM me, whatever you feel comfortable doing, and just let me know where you're at. Let me know how I could serve you, how the Debt-Free Mafia could serve you. Maybe some of your questions we definitely plan on answering in future videos. We're an open book. We invite you to interact with us. We'd love to speak with you. We'd love to help you find financial peace and financial freedom. Let's break those chains. And today I hope that you join the Debt-Free Mafia. Anyways, it's been a pleasure. Be sure to subscribe and like this. We'd love for you to be a part of the movement. Follow us on Instagram at debt.free.mafia or on Facebook. It's gonna be facebook.com/Debt-Free Mafia. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure and I really look forward to hearing your stories. I really look forward to hearing how you are working on your financial journey, and we'd love to hear from you. I hope you have a great day. Be sure again to ask any questions that you might have. I'd love to speak with you. Again, we're rooting for you and we're hoping that you find that peace that you've been looking for. We'll talk to you later. Peace.